So this is my Dino Lightsworn deck, or Dino Minerva deck. Because the main point is to try to use Minerva to mill, obviously, but you also have Lightsworns you can use to mill. It's only 3 Lightsworns in the main deck that we use to mill. And then we got dinosaurs, yay! Giant Rex, because whenever he's banished you can special summon him. You can only use that effect of Giant Rex once per turn. He's a 2000 beater, so that's useful. But the main thing is you'll use him for exceed summoning. But sometimes, you can summon him and he'll be pretty strong. You can run something over with it. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Then we got the 3 Gold Sarcophagus to go with him. That we can go into quick rank 4 play by playing Gold Sarcophagus, banishing Giant Rex special summons, and then you can summon whatever, like a Raiden, mill the top 2 cards of the deck, overlay make Minerva, detach, mill 3 more cards, or of course since he's a tuner, you can go into an Omega play and play with Omega, why not, right? But the main thing you want to do is mill as much as possible, because you want to get your resources to the graveyard. You want to get your Rexes, Giant Rex to the graveyard. You want to get your Miscellaneous Source to the graveyard. You want to get your Fairy Tale Snow to the graveyard, obviously. And then you start banishing and start doing some really cool plays. And obviously OTKing is important. That's the win condition of this deck. That you're trying to do as much damage as possible in a single turn and win, or in a or take turns dealing damage. And then of course you have options to control the duel with Lagia, Doka, and even Omega, right? So then we got Soul Eating Overraptor. When he's normal or special summon, you can add a level 4 or lower dinosaur type monster from your you can add any dinosaur from your deck to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Typically you want to send Giant Rex or Miscellaneous Source to the graveyard, whichever one you need to get to the graveyard. And then of course you can use Miscellaneous Source effect any other time in the duel to special summon a Soul Eater from the deck to get the effect to mill some more, because you want to keep the little engine going, right? So you can keep going to rank 4s. Then of course Miscellaneous Source, during either player's main phase you can just send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and then dinosaur type monsters you can control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So it's a nice little blanket ability during your main phase, so you can make your plays with your dinosaurs, especially if you're trying to get Soul Eating's effect. You pitch this, summon Soul Eater's ability, send Giant Rex to the graveyard, and you already started filling up your graveyard with dinosaurs, so you can use Miscellaneous Source's ability later to summon dinosaurs. And because he banishes dinosaurs, obviously Tyranno Infinity will get power boosted for the dinosaurs banished, which is the deck's strategy, is to try to make a really strong Tyranno Infinity to help you go OTK. You can banish Miscellaneous Source from the graveyard plus other dinosaur monsters, and then summon a monster of that level, so you need to banish Miscellaneous Source and 3 other dinosaurs to bring out level 4 dinosaur from your deck to the field. But you can banish Miscellaneous Source by himself and just summon a Drac-Alio. There's only one. You don't need no more than that in this build, just so you can go into a level 5 synchro play. And Samsara Dragon Rebirth will be your option. Has a nice 2600 defense, as well as whenever it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a monster in either player's graveyard and special summon that monster. So it's a monster reborn, so that's always good. Plus the fact that you can always use its effect to bring back a Soul Eater, and then use Soul Eater's ability to mill more dinosaurs. Obviously it's useful, but you can use it to bring back anything you want. You can bring back Lila in case you need to get rid of back row. You can bring back Lumina if you want to go into some synchro plays, or just get more Lightsworns on the field. Bring back Luna, use Lumina's effect to bring back Lila, and do some more mills by keeping them on the field, or Raiden, and then you can synchro if you want. You can bring back Tyranno Infinity from the graveyard, and if there's enough dinosaurs banished, he'll be pretty strong, so you can run over your opponent's monsters. So there's a lot you can do in this deck, obviously. Then we got Samurai Cavalry, a Ripped here. He's the Catastor. He's the Catastor of the deck. He's useful at getting rid of any problematic monsters that are pretty strong. It's mainly to get rid of monsters that are strong and can't be destroyed by battle. This will get rid of it because it'll destroy it during before damage step, and can't get rid of pendulum monsters, but it can get rid of anything else, which makes it useful. It's a low 4 dinosaur, so it works. Tyranno Infinity, of course, make him really strong, go for game. Hyper Hammerhead. It's another way of outing monsters, problematic monsters, and it doesn't target. So it's useful against monsters that can't be targeted. This can help you get rid of it. So these are just some tech cards, obviously, things you can use to deal with some problematic situations. So it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them, right? Thrasher is just you can easily go into rank 4 plays, because you want to get that Minerva on the field and start milling. And then of course Fairy Tale Snow, because her ability is special summon from the graveyard. She has a Book of Moon effect, as well as she lets you banish cards. For example, Giant Rex, and you can get Giant Rex's effect to special summon. Now you have to level 4. You can go into an Exceed play, or you can just take down 2 monsters by attacking both monsters. Her effect can be activated during either player's turn, even during battle phase, so that has some uses where you do a lot of plays, you do a lot of milling, you attack, do a lot of damage, and then banish and bring her back and attack. And you can banish stuff on the field and in your hand in order to special summon, so that comes in handy, especially if you use up your whole hand but you have cards in your field and graveyard. You can banish some cards off of your field and graveyard to special summon her and then attack with her. So she has that use. And then of course Raiden lets you mill and use a tuner, so you can synchro during the end phase. You can mill 2 more cards, so as long as you keep on the field, you keep milling. Lila lets you destroy a spell and trap by switching her to defense mode by her effect, and she milled 3 cards during the end phase. We got Lumina. Once per turn you can discard a card from your hand, target low 4 lore Lightsworn your graveyard, special summon it, and during the end phase you mill 3 cards off the top of your deck. Then we got the 3 Gold Sarcophagus. Lets you search out whatever you need, but the main use for it is for Giant Rex. You want to keep the deck consistent, want to get to that Minerva real quick, right? Then you got the Galaxy Cyclones, useful for getting rid of back row. Works in the graveyard, has a graveyard effect. You can banish it to pop a face-up spell or trap card. It works good with Omega, since you can always use Omega's effect during your opponent's standby phase to put Galaxy back into the graveyard. That way on your turn you can banish it and pop another face-up spell or trap, and keep infinitely popping face-ups. Then we have Swords of Revealing Light, which is good to protect your Lightsworn, to keep on the field long enough to get a good amount of mill. Plus it's good to protect monsters in general. Has a graveyard effect where you can banish it and your opponent can't attack you directly. And then of course you combo it with Omega, so you can, during your opponent's standby phase, you can put this back from banish into your graveyard. So now you can banish it again, and then use his effect to banish himself, to banish a card from your opponent's hand. And now he has 1 less card in his hand to play with, and because you banish your Swords of Revealing Light, Spiritual Sword of Revealing Light, he can't attack you directly. So you'll be protected for that turn, and then next turn Omega comes back, do what you gotta do, deal some damage. Your opponent's standby phase, do the combo all over again, put the sword back in the graveyard, banish the sword, and then banish a card from your opponent's hand, and then have a nice little lock there, so you can stall until you get some better combo pieces and then just go off. Then we got 2 charges of light brigades. Obviously helps you search out Lightsworns. You know, milling is important, so you want to get to them as soon as possible, as well as you mill the top 3 cards of your deck in the first place, so it automatically starts milling, and then it gives you something you can use to mill, so you can get a lot of mills out of it. And Soul Charge, just, you know, because it's a good card, you can get a lot of monsters on the field in one shot. We already mentioned the use of Omega, how you can use them. It does have another effect. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one other card in the graveyard, shuffle both that card and this card from the graveyard into the decks, so that way you can always synchro summon him later and use him over and over again. That's if he ever gets kaiju'd or defeated or destroyed by battle or something. Michael Arch Lightsworn. During your end phase, you mill 3 cards. You can pay 1,000 life points to banish a card on your opponent's side of the field, and banishing is pretty powerful. If he is destroyed by your opponent, you can, or he's destroyed in general, you can target any number of other Lightsworn monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, and gain 300 life. So it's a good way of gaining life points. Plus, it's a good way to recycle your Lightsworn, so that way you don't deck out, right? But you usually win before that ever even happens. We already mentioned the usefulness of Samsara. It's a monster reborn. Of course, double Minerva, just because you want to get the mills out there. So I need 2 good monsters to mill. Plus, not only does she mill, she also lets you draw for whatever. If you milled any Lightsworns, and once she gets destroyed, she lets you mill 3 more cards. And if any of them are Lightsworns, you can destroy cards up to the number of Lightsworns milled by that effect. So she's really good. So obviously 2 will be very useful in this deck, of course. Logia, Doka. Logia lets you stop normal summons, special summons, or any spell or trap card by detaching 2 materials from it. Doka, detach 1 material to negate the effect of a monster effect and destroy that monster. And you can do it more than once. As long as you can keep detaching, you can keep negating monster effects. Cowboy helps to go for game, as well as it can help make a monster weaker by 500 by making himself stronger by 1,000. So if you're 2,500, but you mainly will use them for burn, and you have the 2,400 defense, so it's pretty decent. Diamond Crab, good 3,000 defender. Sometimes you might need to defend long enough to draw into what you need to draw into. But also it comes in handy in taking down something that's strong, that needs to be taken down, like a masterpiece or something. You can make him a 3,000 and attack, and then he'll go back to defense and it'll be 3,000 defender. Tornado Dragon, why not? Gotta get rid of them spells and traps, and to be able to respond to your opponent activating a trap, or like let's say they play a pendulum card, you can pop that card and now you prevented them from having pendulum scale. So obviously it's a really good card. Sky Blaster lets you get rid of any problematic face-up monster or spell or trap on the field, spin it back into your opponent's deck, mess up their consistency. Rhapsody Berserk, get rid of anything in your opponent's graveyard you don't want to have in the graveyard, so that way, you know, in case they have a graveyard based deck, you can disrupt their plays by getting rid of important stuff. Plus it's useful in the mirror match, right? Then in number 101, Silent Honor Arc lets you deal with any special summon monster, turn it into a material, and if it will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach a material from it instead. Utopia the Lightning, and you just need Utopia in order to summon the Utopia Lightning. Utopia Lightning, you know, can definitely help you deal a lot of massive damage, because it can become 5,000 by detaching 2 materials, while this has a Utopia monster as material. And when it attacks, your opponent can't activate spells, traps, or the effects of cards. So it's useful to get rid of anything, any problematic boss monster, as well as it just helps you deal a lot of damage in one shot. And that's the end of the deck profile.